What's going on, everybody? We are live for a webinar where we're going to do some product research, advanced product research to be more specific. I'm excited to be here. What better way to spend the night than to look for some profitable opportunities to sell on Amazon? That's exactly what we're going to do tonight. Go ahead and drop your name and where you're from in the chat box. I already see there's a few people doing this. I see N. Bazaar from Calgary, Like a Boss is from Dallas, nice and 75 degrees, they say. So yeah, drop it in the chat box. Let me know where you're tuning in from. It's always fun for me to see usually the worldly crowd that we have for the time of tonight. I'm guessing most people are in the States or maybe in Asia. It's pretty late for the European people. Maybe you guys are rallying though, I don't know. With that being said though, I don't like to waste any time, so we're gonna go ahead and dig right into the content. One of the huge benefits of attending a live webinar like this is you do have the ability to ask questions. So let me know what questions you guys have for me. Drop them in the chat box. There's quite a few people here tonight, but I'm doing my best to answer all those questions that we can. So there we go. You can see my screen now, and we are ready to roll. So what's on the agenda tonight? What are we going to be talking about? First of all, we're going to go over an overview where I'm going to give some more details about product research and advanced product research and how to find these money-making opportunities to sell on Amazon. We're going to give you some examples to show you guys of the successful products that we've launched. I'll give you very specific product research criteria and how you can mimic the success that I've had of finding these profitable opportunities. I'll then do a real life demo and you can look over my shoulder and I'll find a good opportunity for you in real time using the Jungle Scout tools. And then if you stay to the end, I have an awesome ebook for you guys. I have a free list of 25 product ideas, and we'll also be doing something that we don't do often, which is offering a discount for Jungle Scout if you stay till the end. So I would encourage you guys to do so. And the chat box is lighting up with all these places people are from. I see Melbourne and St. Louis and Quebec City, and Steven likes my t-shirt. And so I appreciate all the love in the chat box, guys. All right, so real quick, let's talk about the big picture. And I'm just going to touch on this briefly because I understand there's probably some of you guys here who aren't too familiar with Amazon and aren't too familiar with this particular opportunity. So tonight I'm going to be talking about the private label process, okay? And if we simplify the private label process, make this very easy to understand, we're gonna find a profitable niche or product on Amazon. You would then generally get this product made, typically in China from a factory. And we're not gonna be inventing new products, but instead find opportunities on Amazon for products that are already being created by factories. Maybe we'll make some small improvements on them though, so we can outsell our competition, okay? Then you would ship this product from the factory in China straight to Amazon's distribution center. So you never have to touch this product yourself. You never have to it's not like the eBay days where you're like pick, pack, and shipping it and all that kind of stuff. And then Amazon's going to be one that when a person comes on their website, purchases your product, then they will pick, pack, and ship it to the customer, okay? So the reason I love this opportunity and this business model is it's very hands-off once you're done with the upfront work. And it truly is a system that can generate you money without having to exchange your hours for dollars. And that's why I really love the private label process. And that's exactly what we're gonna be talking about today. So, have I ever done this before? Yes, I've launched over 100 successful products on Amazon. I've done a few of them publicly. Some of you guys may be familiar with our case studies, but we've launched a few public products. This is one of them. This particular product, you can go on Amazon, check it out right now. They're called Jungle Sticks. They're bamboo marshmallow sticks. And I took the screenshot last week, but they have sold, up to last week, they had sold $357,000, okay? Over 17,000 units. And that's over the course of about a year and a half, all right? So over $350,000 worth in a little more, or about a year and a half. Let's see, I guess a year and 3 quarters now. But regardless, it's a lot of money, and just goes to show the power of Amazon. And then I'm sure one of the skeptics in the chat box is probably going to say, well, that was back when Amazon was easy, or you can't do that anymore, or whatever else. So I launched another product publicly 4 months ago. Again, I took this snapshot last week, but we had sold about $44,000 worth in the first 4 months. So about 11K a month, which again is very solid in the first 4 months. About 2,400 units were sold. And these were hooded baby towels. So again, something that was very different from my bamboo marshmallow sticks. And the reason for that is I make my decisions solely based off the data and what the data is going to tell me are good opportunities for Amazon. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm showing you these products not to brag, but to prove to you that this blueprint works. I can very confidently, repetitively launch products on Amazon and them be successful products, them do well, and make me money on Amazon. I've broken it down to a science and data and a blueprint that you guys can follow and that's easily repeatable. Tongue twister, but you get the idea. You guys, I'm sure, saying, okay, wow, that's like $400,000, over $400,000 in revenue, but are you making any profit out of that? We're running 28% margins right now once you include everything. So this is PPC, and this is Amazon fees, and this is our marketing spend and giveaways and everything else is 28%. And if you see the screenshot, again, this is a week old, but you get the idea. This is out of my Seller Central dashboard. We had sold $45,000 in the past 30 days. 28% of that in profit is $12,800 per month in profit from 2 products, okay? This isn't all my products. These are 2 products. These are the bamboo marshmallow sticks and the hooded baby towels, okay? So $45K a month, $12,800 in profit. And this is amazing to me. Drop in the chat box what you guys would do with an extra $12,000 per month in profit. And I would love to see what some of you guys have to say. And the reason I love this thought experiment is I used to be a civil engineer. I went to college. I even got a master's degree I went for civil engineering for my undergrad. My master's was in geotechnical engineering. After I went through all that school and spent a crap ton of money on my university degrees, I got a job, and at the time I thought this job was like amazing, right? It was like my dream job. It was, it was for like the best firm in town. I was at this point I thought I was a cool guy, Mr. Bigwig engineer, and I was making like, I forget exactly, but like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and I had to work hard. They would like call me in on weekends, and I'd have to travel and work 14-hour days sometimes, and all this kind of crap. And then once I discovered Amazon, now it's like $12,000 a month in profit from 2 products. That's like, that's really what opened my eyes to like, holy crap, like the 9-to-5 is not the way to success. Like becoming an entrepreneur and starting his own businesses. And like, I would never would have guessed in a million years that selling 2 products on Amazon would make me $12,000 per month. Okay. What are you guys saying? You're saying travel, pay off debt, pay off the credit card, quit my job. I'm not going to read one of them here. Go party, find more products to sell. Travel, invest in real estate. So there's a lot of cool, a lot of neat different things that you guys would do if you had this extra money. And yeah, it's a very life-changing amount of money to have. With these 2 products, it was a charitable mission. So we made some nice contributions to Doctors Without Borders. We donated enough money to build a school in an underprivileged country, specifically in Ghana. So that was some of the cool things we did with the money. And then, these were only the 2 products. Like I said, I have launched over 100 products on Amazon. So I still have my Amazon products and my Amazon business, and it generates me quite a bit of cash, very life-changing amount of money. So like I said, I used to be this civil engineer, or I used to be a geotechnical engineer. Once my Amazon business started to take off a few years ago, my wife and I, we quit our corporate jobs. We sold our home and all of our stuff. Since then, we've been living the life of digital nomads. We're professionally homeless. And this is, I threw in a few pictures here. This is me in the Sahara Desert riding on a camel, and this is in Antarctica. These are the Canary Islands, and in Japan, and some cool ruins in Mexico. But yeah, just over the past few years, my wife and I, we've traveled over 35 countries. We made it to all 7 continents. And it was, if you would have asked me right before I started this Amazon business, I never would have thought any of this would be possible. Like, I probably wouldn't have traveled to 35 countries for the rest of my entire life. And with, I've already made more money just from my Amazon business than I would in my entire career of being a civil engineer. So like, you guys could probably sense my enthusiasm of like entrepreneurship and why I love this. But you can tell that it really can bring you a life of freedom, whether that's financial freedom or time freedom or getting to spend the days how you want. And that's why I am really, in love with this. So selling stuff on Amazon is, James says this is not Photoshop. No, these aren't Photoshopped. These are real pictures. Those are real penguins and everything else. And you can Google me, and I'm sure you can, if you dig far enough, you can find out all this stuff's actually true. So the actual part of selling on Amazon is pretty easy, okay? Like, once you have a listing set up on Amazon, there's not a whole lot to do anymore, okay? They do the pick, pack, and ship. They already have the customers on their platform. This isn't like a traditional e-commerce store or the eBay days where you're having to pack your own boxes and send them out and drive customers to your website and the customer support, all that kind of stuff. Amazon handles all that for you in the FBA program, the Fulfillment by Amazon program, okay? What they don't do and what is work and what I'm going to teach you about tonight is finding profitable opportunities. That's one of the most important parts. You then have to find a factory. That part's not as hard or intimidating as what it sounds. And I'll give you some great resources on how you can figure out how to do that. And then you have to ship it into Amazon, okay? So it's work up front. Every real life opportunity is work, all right? So it's going to be work up front. It probably, even though I've done this a whole bunch of times, it probably takes me at least 20 or 30 hours to launch a product on Amazon. And if you're a complete beginner, it probably would take double that amount of time. So it's all of the work is front loaded. And after that, you have a system to generate this money for you. Okay. So the hardest part and what everyone gets hung up on is finding these profitable opportunities on Amazon. Okay. So that's exactly what we're going to cover tonight. And I'm going to go into more of the advanced topics, and I'm going to show you exactly what the top 1% and as well as myself are using to repeatedly launch these successful products. Okay. I know we have lots of questions in the chat box, guys, and I'm going to try to answer as many of them as I can, but I've learned from past webinars that if I try to answer them kind of in between, my thoughts start kind of jumping around instead of having like this nice cohesive webinar. So I'm going to save most of them for the end, and then I might stop in a few points and try to answer a few of these, but keep them coming. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to try to answer as many as I can at the very end. So let's go over some of the kind of big picture product criteria, what we're looking for in these opportunities. And then after that, I'm going to give you like the exact numbers and then show you a demo of exactly how to find these products. Okay. So I only sell stuff, and I would encourage you guys to please follow this. Only sell stuff with the existing demand on Amazon. All right. Oftentimes, I work with a lot of beginners. I try to help and give back as much as I can. And oftentimes people tell me they want to sell a product because like they're either passionate about it, or their mom told them that she was looking on Amazon and couldn't find this, or they looked for it on Amazon and couldn't find it. So they just know that this product's going to do well because it's not up on Amazon yet. The problem with this is that's extremely risky because you don't know if anyone else is actually buying this. Instead, Jungle Scout will show you what has existing demand on Amazon, and I'll show you that, okay? So instead of guessing what we think might sell well on Amazon, we can just see what people are already buying on Amazon. There's like a bazillion, I don't know how many shoppers every single day on Amazon typing stuff in to the search bar with their credit cards ready, and they're in the purchase mindset. There's no better place to find a customer than Amazon. And we're just going to give these people what they want. We're going to give them what they're searching for, okay? With that being said, there's tons of stuff with high demand, but we need to find something that has low competition. We, of course, want good margins because we're starting this business to make money. What you do with that money is up to you, but this needs to be a profitable business. I generally like higher price items like $18 or more. I'm going to show you how to stay away from anything that could potentially have legal issues. And then it'd be nice to have products that have low seasonality, that we can improve on the products. And it'd be nice if they're small and lightweight, okay? So these are some of the product research strategies that we're going to be using tonight. And this goes one step further than just my basic product research strategies. And that's why I wanted to cover these tonight, since this is a little bit more of like an advanced product research webinar. The first research strategy we'll call big demand with bad reviews. So this means that people are purchasing these products even though they get really junky reviews. So you'll be amazed when I show you this, but there's products that are selling like 1,000 units a month, even though they have like 3 out of 5 stars. I don't know about you guys. I do tons and tons of shopping on Amazon, but I don't think I've ever bought anything with 3 stars. I always buy stuff like, if it doesn't have at least 4 and preferably like 4.5 stars, there's a good chance I'm not even going to buy it. So the fact that these people are buying these products, even though they have such bad reviews, goes to show that like, okay, like if we improve this product just a little bit, fix some of these oftentimes very small things, we can probably sell a ton more than these people who are already doing well. So that's one research strategy, is a big demand with bad reviews. Another one would be products that have a large amount of sales, again, but are marketed very poorly. So again, you'll be amazed at when you see some of these products and some of these listings. Some of these listings have like one picture, like one bullet point, a really crappy title, but they're still selling like 700 units a month. And it's like, what the heck? So you can just sell like the exact same product, but make a really high quality listing with good pictures, great bullet points, lots of keywords so you're ranking better, all these types of things. And I guarantee you can outrank these really crappy listings and sell a lot more than they are, okay? So again, I'm gonna show you all these. You're gonna watch over my shoulder as we do a real life demo of how to find all these things, but right now we're talking about strategies. And the last one is looking for new market opportunities. So we're going to look for items that are selling well, so like high revenue or high unit sales, but have a low number of reviews. The products that have a low number of reviews, this means that these are very young or immature listings. They're likely just very recently launched. And if they're already doing lots and lots of sales, that's a great indicator that this is a new and up and coming and like hot market and something that you could likely sell in, okay? So the common theme here when we look at all these is we're gonna be using we're gonna be using Jungle Scout, but we're gonna make database decisions, and we're gonna use this big data and all this information we have now to remove the emotions from this process and do this market intelligence and this product research based off numbers. It removes a lot of the risk, and it very much so increases the your chance of success. So, I see some questions here, like what's the numbers to shoot for? I'm gonna show you those guys on when we do these examples together, okay? So, right now, what you can see on my screen here, I'm inside of the Jungle Scout web app. Jungle Scout has 2 different products, and this oftentimes confuses people. So when I say the web app, that's what I'm looking at right here, okay? Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. The web app is a SaaS product, software as a service. You can think of it as just a piece of software that is hosted in the cloud, so hosted in our servers. So instead of installing it locally on your computer, after you pay the subscription, you go to the Jungle Scout site and you can use the software to, you can use it kind of like with just the Chrome browser, whatever browser you prefer to use, okay? So this is the web app. We have another tool called the Chrome extension. The Chrome extension installs into the Google Chrome browser, at which point it's a little bit hard to see, but you'll have this little JS icon in the top right-hand side of your Google Chrome browser. And when you click it, you'll see something similar to this. And this is a whole bunch of data. I'm going to go into this a little bit deeper, but I just want to start off by showing you guys the differences, okay? So when I say Jungle Scout extension, that's this one. Remember, you can see it's running on the Amazon store. The Jungle Scout web app That's right. That's the SaaS product that runs in the cloud on Jungle Scout's servers, and it looks like this. So this is the web app, all right? So I'm inside the web app. I'm in one of the features, one of my favorite features called the product database. And what the product database is we've rebuilt Amazon's catalog in a way that's user-friendly for sellers to search through, all right? So if I go to Amazon.com, like this is built for consumers and it's very, very effective for consumers and people like trying to purchase products. But I can't search here, like show me the products that have high demand or low competition. That just isn't a search. So we took all the products, we put them in our database, and we added all the filters that sellers want to see, all right? This works in all the North America, EU, and India stores. So that's the US, Mexico, and Canada. All of the EU stores, which are like Spain, Italy, France, UK, and Germany. I might have missed one, but I think that's them. And then we also have India. Okay, so right now I've selected the US store, but you can select whichever one you would like to sell in. And oftentimes we have a pretty worldly and global crowd, and they ask, what marketplace should I sell in? Should I sell in the US or somewhere else or whatever? I would sell whatever marketplace is easiest for you to get into, okay? Or whatever you feel like has the lowest barrier of entry. That's generally the marketplace of the country that you live in. But if you live in a country that doesn't have Amazon yet, then I would probably sell in the US, the UK, or Germany, one of those three. They all have a very high amount of demand. So we'll just use the US for our examples. We can select which categories, and then we can also filter by a bunch of stuff over here, okay? So I'm gonna select a few of the categories that I feel like are good categories for private label products, all right? So you can just kind of look over my shoulder as I select some of these. I generally stay away from electronics products, watches, jewelry. I generally stay away from clothing or media products. Everything else is pretty much fair game. So I'm just doing this quickly, so I'll probably skip over a few, but all right, so that will work. So I've selected a few categories. Now remember, we went over 3 different product research strategies. We did big demand with bad reviews, big sales with poor marketing, and the new market opportunity strategy. So we'll start with big demand with bad reviews, all right? So I'm gonna say only show me products that are selling like 300 units or more. And with all these, I'm probably gonna do a minimum price of $18 because like I said, I don't like to sell products that are too inexpensive. So at a minimum of $18, I'm gonna say only show me products that are selling at least 300 units per month, because to me, that's pretty good demand. That's 10 units a day. I'm happy with any product that sells 10 units a day. So to me, that's big demand. And then for this one, we said big demand with bad reviews. So I'm gonna go into the rating. Okay, this is like 1 through 5 stars. I'm gonna say only show me products that have less than 3.7. I did 3.7 instead of 3.5 because a 3.7 rating visually to a consumer looks like 3.5, like on the little piece of artwork. And that's pretty bad. At that point, like your sales are, I'd say, very strongly affected because those are pretty crappy reviews. All right, so that works. We'll just do like 100 results per page, and then we hit this search button, okay? So we started out with 45 million products. Now we've narrowed it down to 11,700. It's still a lot, but this is good enough for us to get started, okay? So all these products that we're now looking at sell at least 300 units and are rated below 3.7 stars, all right? So what you're looking at here, each row is a product. It gives you some information like the category, price, weight. This is the number of reviews, and this is the star rating. So it's 3.6 out of 5. This is one of my favorite columns, the monthly sales. So this product's selling about 717 units per month. I think you guys should be able to see this okay. All right, real quick, I said I wasn't going to answer questions. Michael McKinnon just asked a good one. How does Jungle Scout know how many units these products are selling on Amazon every month? And this is part of the secret sauce behind Jungle Scout, okay? So at Jungle Scout, we have a team. There's 3 people on the team. We have 2 engineers and we have 1 data scientist with a PhD. We've built a machine learning system that uses an artificial neural net to essentially we input like between 20 and 30 different data points on a daily basis for all these products for items where we know the amount of unit sales, and we take into account the things like the rank and the price and the keyword ranking and the number of reviews and all this kind of stuff. And from that, we can determine with a fairly high level of accuracy how many units these products are selling on a daily or monthly basis. So is it 100% correct? Absolutely not. Amazon and the seller is the only one who knows the exact number of unit sales. But for example, like this product, it's probably selling between like, I'd say 690 to like 730 units per month. So 717 is close enough for us. For our purposes, for product research purposes, the estimates are plenty accurate enough, okay? So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, so I'm not gonna, no more questions for a few minutes. I'm gonna keep going forward here. We're already 27 minutes past the hour. Okay, so all these products, right, have a large amount of demand, even though they get crappy reviews, okay? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look through these products for products that I think would be good private label opportunities. So I stay away from anything that goes on your skin, like oils or lotions or whatever else. I also stay away from supplements. They're very, very competitive, and I feel like they could potentially be a little bit of a legal issue. I stay away from anything that's very complex. Like to me, a safe is complex, and you have to have like high quality control measures in place. Let's see, what else do I stay away from? I already talked to you guys about like electronic stuff. I stay away for anything that has a high brand allegiance. So, you know, like clothing's a great example for this, and that's why I didn't choose clothing. But with clothing, people oftentimes like brand name stuff. Same thing with like purses and shoes and things like that. So I generally stay away from those products. What I like are products that I think are relatively simple, okay? Like this. This is a little enamel coffee pot thing with some mugs. That's pretty simple. That would be pretty difficult for like a factory to kind of like screw up. And it's also something that I feel like I could probably figure out how to make some improvements and communicate those improvements to the factory without having to get like an engineer involved, essentially like just through writing, okay? So I'm just looking through here, and I'm doing this kind of quickly, but all of my eyes are just on the pictures right now, and all I'm looking for is products that I think are simple and would be relatively easy to get manufactured, okay? So like I said, like I'm staying away from like clothing stuff, you know, like something like this, like the Real Madrid, that would actually technically have to be licensed to put that on there. So I would recommend you not do that. Like a bicycle is pretty complex, right? Let's just look at the second page. I'm just going to see if I can find something else relatively simple that I think would be easy to get made and easy. Let's see, maybe these. All right. So these are pebbles. Kind of hard to screw them up. Okay, so let me. Okay, so that was strategy number 1, right? Big demand with bad reviews. Now let's type in some different filters here and try to find some. Okay, I'm sorry. Also, just to let you guys know, I opened those 2 ideas in new tabs, and that's just how I'm going to keep track of these product ideas I'm coming up with through filtering through this product database. Okay, so and guys. So I see some questions about why didn't you choose this category, that category? I was just doing it really quickly. Like industrial and scientific, that's a fine category. Musical instruments might be okay. Toys and games is good. There's probably even maybe like some stuff in the appliances category work. I was just choosing a few real quick. That's all. I don't necessarily have anything against some of those other categories. So the other one was big sales with poor marketing. So this bottom filter right here, this is the listing quality score, okay? The LQS. what we've done, this team that we have that are brilliant people and a data scientist, they've created an algorithm to be able to grade every product on Amazon and base this off of how likely we believe this listing is to convert, okay? So this takes into account things like, and this is also essentially just the quality of the listing. This takes into account the things like how many pictures do they have? Are they high quality pictures? How many keywords do they have? What's the keyword density? How many characters do they use in the title? Do they use all their bullet points? What's the description? Like, it takes into account all of these things, and we grade all these listings on a scale of 1 to 100. So 100 is the best. If you achieve a 100 out of 100 for your listing quality score, your listing is very good. It probably converts very well. So if I put in a max of 20, that would be pretty crappy listings, okay? If on a scale of 1 to 100, you're getting below a 20, then you have a junky listing that probably converts very poorly, and you're lucky to be selling anything. So I'm gonna say only show me stuff. So I'm gonna leave in my price of 18 bucks. I'm gonna say only show me stuff that's selling, let's say like 500 units per month. You can tweak these a little bit, but I'm gonna say only show me listings that sell 500 units a month, even though they have a really crappy listing. I'm gonna hit search. And okay, so again, we had like 45 million or whatever we started with. Now there's like 22,000, which is still a lot. So we could narrow that down some more, but let's just go ahead and find like 1 or 2 examples out of this. And then I'm going to show you guys how you take what, right now, this is still an idea that we need to verify, how you kind of take that to the next level. So, let's see, let's try to find something relatively simple. Maybe a bar stool. Maybe we'll look for one other one. Let's see, what's something simple that'd be easy for a factory to create? Cast iron wok, maybe. All right, sure, that'll work. Let's get rid of the stool just because we don't have enough time to do too many different things here, okay? Oh, but real quick, we'll just look at this. So this has listing quality score of 20, so the higher end of what we searched for. And I just want to show you something right here. This is a 20. It's not like a 5 or a 1, so it's still a pretty crappy listing. But you're allowed to have 8 photos, and this company only has 4. And they're not really that good of photos. They're decent photos, the 4 they have, but they're allowed to have 4 more. Through all the analysis that we've done, the number of photos and the quality of the photos has a huge impact on how well a listing converts. So they only have 4 out of the 8. Their title is very bad. One of the main things that Amazon takes into account when they decide how to rank these products when you search for keywords are what keywords are in the title. I doubt people are searching for lodge, maybe. Cast iron wok, that probably is. Those probably are good, 3 good keywords. However, they're allowed to have like 250 characters. They've only used like 50, so they could put a ton more keywords in the title. They did use all their bullet points, but they're very short. Again, you can fit a lot more keywords in there. And let's see. Yeah, so overall, like, this is pretty bad listing. This would be very easy if you were to sell a cast iron wok to make a much better listing. Just for comparison's sake, let's just look at my bamboo marshmallow sticks real quick. And this is even one of my best listings. Like we could look at my hooded baby towels. It's much better, but you get an idea to see how many more keywords you can fit into a title, how many more keywords you can fit into the bullet points, etc., etc. So let's keep moving along here. So that was strategy number 2, big sales with poor marketing. And then let's also look for something that we think is like a new product opportunity. So we're getting rid of the listing quality. We'll keep estimated sales at 500. And then let's say number of reviews, like maybe even 5. The last had, so, like when there's still 22,000 results, you can be a lot more picky, right? You can say, okay, like only show me things that have a worse listing. Like I probably would have adjusted that so the listing quality, like only show me maximum of 10, because those would be really bad listings. Or you could say only show me products that even sell more than 300 or 500 or 1,000. So let's just do 500 sales, minimum of $18, and less than 5 reviews. So The reviews are a great indicator of how long this product's been on Amazon. And so the overall like maturity of this product. Generally, when listings are very young, they're not ranked well on Amazon yet because it takes time to rank these products on Amazon. They also don't have very much social proof, similar to what the other listings would have that have a lot of reviews. And so this is just a good indicator for us that this is probably a relatively like, or it has the potential to be a new market. That'd be a good one for us to get into. Okay. So again, let's just search here. Let's see what we come up with. So this time we have 2,500. Let's see. I'm just going to go with something quick. So we have paraffin wax cylinders. So this particular product is selling 1,000 units per month, even though it only has 2 reviews. So this is probably a very young product, but it's already selling 1,000 units per month, which is a great sign. Okay. So oftentimes when you look at products like this, they will be, sometimes it's a very like new product that you haven't seen before. So like when fidget spinners first came out, there was, if you would have done the search, you would have seen tons and tons and tons of them. Okay. I'm going to show you how you can see whether a product's kind of like fad like or not. I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. Or estimate. No one knows for sure what's going to be like a fad and what's going to stick around for a while. But what's the best case scenario is a product's kind of like slowly gained in popularity for a while. And now it's starting to do pretty well, but hasn't really attracted the attention of many sellers yet. So I'm just going to see if I can find an example of this on the first page. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I see something that I feel like is kind of unlikely to be fad-like, but unlikely to be fad-like and is more so like slowly gaining in popularity. I don't see anything on the first page, so this is fine. So, okay, so we started with 25 million products in, or 45 million products in the product database. Based off the strategies we're using, the 3 different strategies we're using, we narrowed that down to a lot less. And then I just quickly on the first page of the results, of course, I can dig a lot deeper or refine these searches, but I came up with 4 product ideas. I have some paraffin wax candles. I have a cast iron wok. I have some pebbles, walkway pebbles, and I have a enamel cup coffee pot mug set. Okay, so the coffee pot and the pebbles, they're both selling well, even though they get poor reviews, right? They each have what the customer sees 3.5 reviews, even though they're still selling well. This wok, it has a pretty poor listing that we know we could easily improve upon. And the wax candles, they only have 2 reviews, even though they were selling like 1,000 units per month. So doing a ton of sales, even though they only have 2 reviews, okay? So where do we take this from here? We have these 4 ideas. Do we go straight to the factory now and ask to get a whole bunch of these made and invest our money? You could, however, I wouldn't recommend it yet. These could be outliers, okay? So, you know, they met all of our criteria that for the specific criteria that we're searching for. However, they could be like a rare one-off case. So how do we make sure it's not a rare one-off case? And this is a legitimate good opportunity for me, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to search in the entire Amazon store. I'm going to search for, let's see, enamel coffee, probably set. Let's see if that pulls up. You can kind of guess to see. Let's try percolator. All right, so that works. Okay, so we yeah, it looks like only this one has the cups with it, but that's fine. This will work for our example. So now what we're trying to figure out is this a good opportunity in niche as a whole, or was that just one outlier type product? Okay, So I'm going to use the Jungle Scout extension to do this part of it. So let me zoom in a little. I know it's a little bit hard to see. We should be broadcasting in 1080p. So if you guys down the bottom right, you should be able to select and change the whatever resolution 1080p and blow it up in your whole screen. You should be able to see this okay. So now what we're looking at is, like I said, this is the Jungle Scout extension, and you probably see a whole bunch of data here, and at first glance, it kind of freaks you out, but it's in the simple table format, okay? We have the product name, the brand, price. We have the unit sales. Remember, so that column is, of course, really good. And these are 30-day sales estimates. We have the revenue. We have the number of reviews. We also have some other good information, like the listing quality score. And here, they're on a scale of 1 to 10. This is the net after Amazon fees. So, of course, when you take advantage of Amazon services, they do, of course, charge a fee for it. So you can kind of see the fee breakdown here for this. So, even though you're selling it for $19.97, after all of Amazon's fees, you only get $12.79. And then, if this product costs you $5, then your actual profit for this would be like $7.79. So the extension shows you that. But before I dive in and kind of show you too much more of the extension, let's talk about how we know whether or not this is a good opportunity. So, or how we know whether this is just a one-off kind of unit. So let's see, what was our, ours is one of these. What I'm looking for here is what's the demand like in the overall niche, okay? Because if there's just one outlier of a product, you don't know if this product like just got featured on Oprah, or they have a website where they drive lots of traffic to Amazon, or whatever else, right? So what I'm looking for is demand throughout the entire niche. And that way I have a good understanding of whether or not this is a good niche for me to enter. So me personally, I like to see at least like 2,000 units being sold in any given niche in a month. So what I see here is this top guy's selling 71, then essentially nothing, 260, 280, 360, 90, and then everyone else is not doing very well. So if I added those up, there's probably only like 1,000 units of these enamel percolators being sold on Amazon every month. And to me, that's just not quite enough demand. I would like to see at least like 2,000 units of demand, okay? After that, generally what I go in to look at is the number of reviews. And I would like to see a few sellers in the top 10 with under 50 reviews. And right here, if I look at the top 10, there's a few guys in the bottom, number 7, 8, 9, and 10 spots that have under 50. So that's good news. But those guys in general aren't selling very well. So I would say this is something that I would not want to pursue further. There's not enough demand here. And for the amount of demand that there is, it's a little bit too competitive for me. I'm going to walk you through how I do that with a few different products. But real quick, since we're right now using this strategy about big demand, bad reviews, let's talk about how or why we're looking for products with bad reviews. Okay, we want to find products that are selling well, even though they have a low or a poor or poorly reviewed, because that means that we can make improvements. Okay. And when I say make improvements on a product, I'm not talking about inventing a brand new product and coming up with these complex drawings and getting engineers involved and everyone else. I'm instead talking about small improvements that you can make just by sending the supplier or the factory like a few pictures or writing them to this in an email, okay? So I've never read these reviews real quick. I'm just gonna do this really quickly because I know you guys don't wanna sit here watching me read, but bent in a few places. Let's see. The cups get very hot. Bent, cheaply made. The basket inside the pot is bent and broken. Okay, so after reading the first 3 reviews, it looks like like 2 big complaints are that the cups get extremely hot, so then they're hard to hold. So just like off the top of my head, one way I think you could like improve that would be to email the factory and say, hey, can we put like a a piece of wood over the handle so that, wood doesn't conduct heat as well. If we put wood over the handle, it won't get as hot instead of holding onto that metal handle. That's probably a way you can solve that. It doesn't look like there's a picture of what the percolator inside looks like, but I imagine it's wire or something else. So again, I would email the factory and I would say, hey, instead of your typical wire, could you use like the next grade, thicker, more heavy duty wire? Okay. So again, I'm not talking about inventing brand new products. I'm talking about emailing or communicating with the factory saying like, hey, can you make this one small change? And then kind of let them figure it out from there. A lot of you guys are probably thinking, is it possible to even like get these things made? And we don't have time to go deeply in depth on this webinar, but I can point you to some great resources that we do have for it. But I've never searched for this on Alibaba, but I'm very confident there's going to be tons of these things as long as you search for the right thing. Let's see, I'll probably need to do enamel. And right away you can see like just this second option, like that looks exactly what we want, like this enamel coffee pot set, or like same thing with this one right here, right? Like even like this blue one, this looks like pretty much the exact one that's on Amazon, or same thing, pretty similar to that one. So it's very easy to find a factory to make these things. And you can see right here, they're like between $1 and $1.90 each. That doesn't include the cups, but still, maybe we're talking about like $3 or something to get this made. The improvements might cost you another 50 cents or whatever. And then all of a sudden you have a product that you've private labeled. That's your product, your brand that you're selling on Amazon doing well. So let me get back on track here, because we're already 47 minutes past the hour. And by the end, I want to find a good product that I would be willing to sell. So the percolator pot thing is out. The next one are glow-in-the-dark pebbles. Glow-in-the-dark pebbles. Again, I found that one idea, but that could potentially be an outlier. So we need to verify that this is actually a good niche to go into and not necessarily just one individual good product to sell. So I searched for glow-in-the-dark pebbles. That's what those were in the entire Amazon store. I'm going to open up the Jungle Scout extension again, and I'm going to look at some of the data that it gives me. All right. So right away, I see tons more sales in this particular niche. This top guy, he's selling like 1,800 units a month, and 600, 200, 500, 580, 115, 170. If I were to add all these up, I would say there's definitely over 2,000, because the top guy alone is selling 1,900 or 1,800 a month. So there's a good amount of demand in this particular niche. The reviews, remember, in the top 10 spots, so in these top 10, I would like to see a few sellers with under 50. So this guy's 14, 32, 2, 29, right at 50, 36. So I would say it's not very competitive. Okay, so those are good signs right off the bat. It looks like it's a good price point. Some are much higher priced than others. Like this one's only $9, whereas this one's 16. This one's 19, 27. I would have to look in to see, why some were priced higher than others. It looks like right away this one's 500 pieces, where this one's only 100. So maybe I'd want to sell a larger pack to make sure I could sell it for like a good price. Because as you can kind of see from the net column, there's just a lot more money to potentially make on these higher priced products. All right. Like this one for 500 pieces, there's 1,850 net. If I got this thing made for, I don't know, $5, or even $7 or whatever else, it's a high margin, a high ROI, and a large amount of profit. So this is a niche that does have good demand. It does not seem very competitive to me. Overall, it seems like it has a lot of potential. So earlier I told you guys I was going to show you how this, it's like, I actually haven't personally seen glow-in-the-dark pebbles. I don't know if they're, what the popularity like is, they're becoming more popular or what. I told you guys I would show you kind of like how to figure out how to guess or check like seasonality, potential trends, potentially to see whether or not you think this could be like a fad. So there's two ways to do it. One is to click on sales in Jungle Scout. And if we've had the product in our system, looks like we have with this one for a while, then there's going to be historic sales. So what this is this is a step graph that shows you, this one goes back to September of 2016, so 13 months. And this shows you approximately how many units have been sold of these pebbles each month. So back in September 2016, their first month, they only sold 110, then 168, 340. It's been going up pretty steadily. The spring of this year, they peaked at about 2,000. And then throughout the summer and into the early fall, they've continued to do well, like 1,800 or 2,000 units. So this is something really cool, and it's exclusive just to Jungle Scout that you can see the historic monthly sales. This is one of my favorite features, and you guys access it just by clicking on sales. So that's one way. Another way, because a lot of these products haven't been on Amazon for very long, is we can look at Google Trends. So you click this little button down here in the middle. This is the Google Trends button. And right inside the extension, we can see how this product has trended through the months, years, and seasons, okay? So this is actually exactly what you want to see, more like kind of like a slow amount of growth. That's like obviously a good sign. It looks like back in like 2012, 2013, no one really knew about glow-in-the-dark pebbles or weren't using them. And it looks like they've been overall trending in popularity going up kind of these past few years. We can also get a good idea of the seasonality. Let's see, this peak is in April, May, June. Again, April, May, June. And then kind of same thing, looks like April, May, June was the highest peak for this year. So that makes sense. I guess most people are doing their gardening and straightening up their lawns and all that kind of stuff in the spring cleaning time. So that would be the hottest season. And that's something that we can take into account. So right now is October. Let's see. Let's just look at last year as a comparison. So if we look at, or I guess that's 2 years ago. All right, October of 2016, the unit that Google Trends gives us here is a 17, and that's a relative. So it's 17 like out of 100, with the 100 being the largest peak in the particular trend. So, but what we can do is we can compare 17 to the hottest month, which is April of 40. And if we're just doing rough math, that's a little bit less than 1/2. So actually right in the springtime, we could expect to sell about twice as much as what this is selling now, or they at least get about twice as much interest and traffic. So that's something that's really cool and that Jungle Scout shows you, so you can kind of understand that and better gauge that. Holy crap, it's already 54 minutes past the hour, so I'm gonna move right along here, but the pebbles are good. I'd be willing to sell the pebbles myself, the glow-in-the-dark pebbles. The next steps would be to find a factory for these, import them into Amazon, and start selling them. But this is a very good product. All right, let's just we'll do this one as our last example because I would like to do some Q&A at the end. Let's do a cast iron wok. And remember, with this particular example, we were trying to find something that was selling well, even though it had a really crappy listing. So that one does have a pretty bad listing. If this niche is good kind of as a whole, then it's something we definitely want to get into a little bit more, because even these products with these poor listings are doing well. So sales are, if I were to add those up, it would be over 2,000. Just quick eyeing it, maybe about 2,500. Okay. So about 2,500. Remember, in the top 10 spots, I like to see multiple sellers with under 50 reviews. This one has 1, 2. It only has 2 with under 50, which is not bad, but could be better. But then there's 1, 2, 3 with 57, 58, 60, so pretty close. So for this particular one, I would say that demand is solid. Competition is like medium. You could probably find something a little bit less competition. But overall, again, this could potentially be a good niche to sell in. The price points are much higher, which is pretty nice because that means that there's just a lot more room left over for you to make a profit. I don't really know how much these things cost to get made, but I wouldn't imagine that much money. Maybe we say $10 including shipping, which would be $18 of profit per sale, which is pretty solid. So again, this is a pretty good product. I like the Pebbles better than the cast iron wok, but I would probably still be willing to sell the cast iron wok. Since we're running out of time, let me just show you a couple of other features about the extension because people always have these questions. Down here, if you click this word cloud, it shows you the most popular keywords for these particular products. You can, of course, export these into an Excel file. If you click on the price, it shows you the price history for this product. You can click and drag, and it looks like this has stayed a pretty consistent. Let's just look at the past year because it's been around for a while. The past year, it's been selling for roughly $47, $47, $48, something like that. This is good. You can look at it just to make sure that, let's look at the past few months. They haven't just recently decreased this a lot, and that's why it's selling low or anything. It's been selling like that for years, with the exception of like a few weird days, whatever. For whatever reason, someone had like one unit in stock, so they just priced it crazy high. That's a really cool feature. If you click on the rank, again, it has a similar graph that shows the best sellers rank. This is another good way to gauge how a product is selling over the seasons. So a higher rank means it's selling less. So it looks like February, March, it was pretty low. Kind of same thing over here. It looks like this product probably sells best in the summer and fall. And then through the winter months, it doesn't sell as well. So same thing. This one's probably getting ready to, well, it looks like it still does well in November, and then it starts to slow down after that. So those are some really cool features. Hopefully now you kind of get an understanding of really just how powerful the Jungle Scout Pro extension is. It does a lot more. We've run out of time, so I can't really show you everything that it does. But of course, we have lots of tutorial videos and stuff to help you get the most out of the Jungle Scout extension. I'm going to skip over our wax candles. I think by now you guys kind of get the idea. I'm just going to jump back in the web app real quickly. There are two other features in the web app. One's the product tracker. What the product tracker does is it tracks on a daily basis how many units a product is selling. So you can add a product to the product tracker, and in real time, it will track how many units are being sold. So I just added this a few days ago. Let's find another one that has some more sales history. I guess I just added that one a week ago. I've been doing a lot of demos, I guess. Let's look at this one. Okay, so this one has quite a bit of data because I added it a while ago. But this shows you the amount of inventory on a daily basis, how many units were sold, the best sellers rank. This kind of lets you look at your competitors' products under a magnifying glass on a daily basis to see how many units they're selling. The other feature that I ran out of time, so I wasn't able to demo, is the Niche Hunter. The Niche Hunter is another way to find good niches and opportunities on Amazon. The Niche Hunter, it's one of our premium features, so it's only available in the standard plan and not the startup, which is the little bit of a lower tier plan. So I promised you guys a bunch of stuff at the beginning. Let me switch back and fulfill some of those promises, and then I'll be happy to answer a few of you guys' questions, even though we're already at an hour and I can't believe that. I promise you an ebook. You can download the ebook at junglescout.com/bundle. This is an ebook that shows you how to find good opportunities and goes into product sourcing. The download link for that is at the bottom of that page. So junglescout.com/bundle. I also promise you guys a discount. And this is something that I don't really like doing discounts, and we don't do them very often. I try not to do them. I feel like Jungle Scout is the cream of the crop. It's the premium product out there. You wouldn't find a discount on a Louis Vuitton bag or a whatever else, right? So I don't like doing these, but at the end of these webinars, when I do stuff like this, people always say, like, can I get a discount? I'm excited, or just a small discount, whatever. So we will do this, but I'm only going to keep this live for 2 days. So I put together a package. And I think this package includes everything that you need to find a profitable product, a profitable opportunity for you on Amazon, so you can become a successful seller and you can grow into that $12,000 a month, similar to kind of like what we are making, what we talked about earlier on. So this includes the Pro extension. This includes 6 months of the web app, and it also includes a 7-part video course. So you get the Pro extension. This is the one that I've been using during this demo. If you just want it, you can go to our website and you can buy it for $197. That's what we charge. That is the price for the Pro extension. The web app, the startup tier is $39 a month, and the standard tier is $69 a month. Again, we are selling those on our website. And then I put together a video course. This is the Product Research Masterclass. I talk about some of the topics that we touched on today, and I go into them a little bit more deeply throughout that course. I think I put a value of $197 on that. If I were to actually sell it on our website, it'd probably be a lot more than that. So $197 for the extension, 6 months of the startup web app, $39 a month. The masterclass, if my math's correct, that's $628 would be that price. And we're going to give you 44% off, so almost half off of that particular bundle. But we're only going to do it for 2 days. So at junglescout.com/bundle, if you want to take advantage of this deal, I would encourage you to do so. That's the place that you can do it. And like I said, I honestly believe this is everything you need to be able to find a good opportunity and a good product for you to sell on Amazon. All right. I'm sure there's at least someone in the chat box right now. Terry just said, "What if I already have the Pro extension?" Terry, don't worry, I had this slide just for you. We have a deal for you too, okay? So if you already have the Pro extension and you're looking for a discount, we didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So you can get 6 months of the standard tier. So that's the middle tier. It's $69. It does include the Niche Hunter. And we'll also include the masterclass with that. So the price, if you add all that up, it's $611. And you can get that for the same price, so $350. Again, if you scroll all the way down on junglescout.com/bundle, you can find the checkout link for that. Let me just show you what that page looks like. This is what the page looks like, junglescout.com/bundle. If you want to take advantage of the package with the extension, just click the Get Started Now button, get the package or the top button to get started now. If you only want the 6 months of the web app, you just go to the bottom right here and it says already have Jungle Scout Pro. That means already have Jungle Scout Pro extension. Then you can get 6 months of that standard web app for, again, almost half off. So it's $350. So you just click this button, you can check out right there. And this right here, download the ebook. This is where you're going to get the ebook that I promised you guys at the beginning. Okay. So let me just dive back into this really quick. All right. These are a lot of the questions that I get. What about this and that and the other thing or whatever else? We have a money back guarantee. I'm very confident you guys are going to love these products, but oftentimes people aren't sure and they say, what happens if I buy this and then I think your product sucks? I don't think that's going to happen. So we, without a doubt, have a money back guarantee. If you purchase this and don't like it, just email us with in the next week and we'll give you your money back. Okay. So you don't have anything to lose. You save, I put 50%. It's almost 50%, 44 or whatever else. It's almost half off. Okay. If you purchase this right now. Now is an excellent time to start on Amazon. Oftentimes I hear people say, like, is Amazon too competitive now? Like, Greg, you're doing this webinar teaching everyone how to sell on Amazon. Does that mean that there's going to be no room left for me? I can't find enough people in the entire world to teach how to sell on Amazon to feed the appetite of the beast. Amazon is growing way faster than us as sellers can keep up with. I don't know if you guys follow the news in the stock market, but Amazon is in the news every single day of how they're taking over the world. Their stocks are growing like crazy, and that's because everyone knows and understands about how quickly they're growing and expanding. And, they have hundreds of millions of people in their Prime program. And just because there's a few hundred people on this webinar, like, you have to think there's like, I don't know exactly how many, but like over 100 million people are like on Amazon every day buying something. So like when you compare those numbers to like the whatever 200 people are on this webinar right now, it's like nothing. Even, like as all of us collectively, like we don't have enough cash to be able to purchase all the inventory to try to feed the appetite of this beast. Okay, so now is a great time to start on Amazon. We have fantastic customer support. I think you guys got a little glimpse of what the Jungle Scout team looks like. That was the team with me when we were holding those checks at the beginning. But the team's, I think, 35 people now. We have a fantastic, I can't speak highly enough about, or neither can our customer support. We're spread out throughout North America, Europe, and Australia. So we're able to offer customer support 20 hours a day by splitting up time zones, and we answer tickets 7 days a week. So if you have any questions, just shoot us an email and we'll probably get back to you within under an hour. We're very quickly, and we're answering tickets 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're here for you. We've got your back. All right. You probably, after watching this webinar, also have other questions like, how do I do this or do that or do this or whatever? The other thing is, we have tons and tons and tons of educational resources for you, and we make all of them available to all of our customers, okay? So I promise you we have the educational content, educational material you need to answer any of these questions that you guys have. Are we a real company? Are we legit? Do we have any customers? Do they even like us? If you go to trustpilot.com, that's somewhere that our customers leave reviews. We have like 450 or probably even close to 500 reviews now. We have 9.5 out of 10 stars, which is pretty good. I'm pretty proud of. Feel free to go there and read pages and pages and pages worth of reviews. What you'll find is we get a lot of love. People get a lot of value out of our product. It's a small price to pay compared to these businesses that you can create and the profits that these businesses can generate for you. So those are the two options. Option one was the bundle, including the Pro extension. Option two is only the web app. I would only recommend option two for people who already have the Chrome extension. If you don't yet have the Chrome extension, then I would recommend that you go for option one. Both of them are $350, money back guarantee. This does expire though in 48 hours. Okay. I don't like doing discounts, so we're definitely not just going to leave this up for forever. Otherwise, before we know it, it's going to get shared around the internet and whatever else. And I only want this available for you guys who sat through my webinar. JungleScout.com/bundle. Dang it, I was going to try to keep this at an hour. We're already 8 minutes past, but there's tons of questions in here. So let me go ahead and just answer some of these questions for you guys, because I don't want to leave you hanging. How's the masterclass different than other videos on your site? The masterclass, it's not something that we have publicly available. We do have lots and lots of free content, but the masterclass is, I think, better organized, more concise, higher quality information that's also really nicely edited. There's some questions in here about kind of listing optimization, some things like that. I'm going to maybe stay away from some of those questions tonight, since the purpose of this webinar was product research. I'm going to kind of stick in that realm to make sure that we're staying relevant, even though we have lots of other content about these other questions. What are the obstacles of being a Canadian trying to sell in the US Amazon? Anyone from around the world, besides, I think there's a handful of countries in Africa that aren't allowed to sell on Amazon. But besides that, there's 175 countries. All of the, if you're watching this webinar right now, I'm sure your country can sell on Amazon. Then you can sell on Amazon.com. The hurdles are you have to, I believe this is correct. I'm an American, so I haven't gone through this process myself. But from what I understand, you have to set up a legal entity either in your home country or in the US. If you don't have one in your home country, I'd probably just do it in the US because it's a very business-friendly country, and you can set up an LLC for $75, and then you have it. And that's about the only hurdle that you have. Dustin says no fine print. I don't know what questions you have. I'm a pretty straightforward guy. I don't try to do like any really secrets. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. But no, I stay away from fine print things. What other features will Jungle Scout introduce in the future? Is the price of the web app will always stay the same? I don't know what the future pricing is going to be. If you look at our history over the past few years, we do a price increase every once in a while to account for, you know, added features and added value, and of course just inflation and everything else. With things like, you know, with like the extension, it's a one-time fee and you keep it for the rest of your life. We give you support for the rest of your life and you get all updates forever, okay? So we just did a big update like a month ago for the extension. I'm sure some people in the chat box can vouch for that if they've had the extension for a while, but you don't like pay any extra for that. You just get that for free. Same thing with the web app. Remember, this is a month by month, but both of these you get the web app for 6 months. But during that 6 month, of course, you don't pay for any upgrades. We're updating this every week. We have, I think, 12 or 13 developers now. And I mean, every day, all 12 or 13 developers are working to make our products better. So it's updated on almost probably daily, but a few times a week. And all those are, of course, included. Like, you don't have to pay extra to take advantage of the features or new upgrades or whatever else. If you have a scenario that's kind of not laid out here, feel free to email us. Just shoot us an email, hello@junglescout.com. I see something in the chat box like, well, I already prepaid for a year. How do I go if I want the extension now or whatever else your individual scenario is? Just shoot us an email, hello@junglescout.com, and we'll be sure to do what we can to help you out and get you taken care of. Veronica says the updated extension is great. Awesome. I'm glad you're enjoying it. What is the masterclass? The masterclass is a 7-part video series that I created that talks about similar to what we've talked about today, but goes into a little bit more depth. And it's specifically targeted for product research. So that's what the masterclass is. Lucas says, I have 10 or 15 grand. How should I diversify? Should I try a few products at once? Yeah, if I had 10 or 15 grand to buy inventory, I would diversify and launch a few different products because with that amount of money, it's pretty easy to launch multiple products. Let's see. Joe says, how much weight do you put on the opportunity score? Do you just look at that to determine if a niche is good? The opportunity score, if you guys saw that, it was in the extension, it was in the top right corner. It's on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst opportunity, 10 being the best opportunity for you. I would use that as light guidance. There is more you have to look into. Unfortunately, software and computers aren't quite smart enough yet to be able to look into everything, but it is a piece of guidance for you to kind of help you understand whether or not it's going to be a good opportunity for you, okay? Some of the other questions, guys, about like importing and shipping and manufacturing, all that kind of stuff, I would recommend for you guys to check out the case study that we're doing where we're publicly launching products. So you can sign up for it at junglescout.com/million. It's the $1 million case study. So junglescout.com/million. And that would be the place to find the answers to kind of some of these other questions that aren't related to the topic of tonight's webinar. So with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up because I really try to keep these at an hour. We're already 15 minutes past, and if I'm not careful, I might just end up answering questions all night long. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. And if you have any questions about anything or you're not quite sure about this or that or the everything, just shoot us an email, hello@junglescout.com. We'll do our best to get back to you very quickly. and we'll make sure that your questions are answered. If you're on the edge and you're not quite sure if you want it, always keep in mind that this ends in 48 hours and there's a money back guarantee. What I would do if I was you, I would just purchase it, and then that way you're not sure if you don't have to worry about like forgetting about it. And then, in the next few days, if you're like, oh crap, actually I decided I didn't want it, then we'll just give you your money back. It's not a big deal. I promise we'll do so. So like I said, it does expire in 48 hours and everyone's lives are busy. You get caught up with things and you forget about it. If you email me in 72 hours, unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn you down and tell you that you can't that we can't honor the deal. Because like I said, I don't like doing discounts and we don't want to make this available forever. So jungleScout.com/bundle. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I hope you have a great evening, or wherever you're at in the world, it might be daytime or whatever else, a great day. And I will see you next time. Thanks, guys.